Felt so energetic when that started. Huh? Felt really energetic when we started.
That's good. That means your second win will be at the first point.
We're gonna jump like 5 meters in the sky. As soon as the disc comes, that's a whole different story. Right now, there's no disc in the air. Enjoy. Yeah, enjoy, guys. We're gonna have a. This is gonna be a mood night game. I feel like. I just have that feeling.
And I think the tally is 4-3 to us.
It is, yeah. So we need to even it.
So this is double or nothing.
Let's go.
Okay, who's gonna call? 3, 2, 1.
Odds.
Kyle will start on defense.
We were
expected. We will take
I don't know what to say. I don't actually know anything about the teams today. I don't know who's injured, what our numbers are. Day 3 of a tournament, you got to start looking at, who's injured, who's out. So I actually have no idea who could take this. I think it's going to be an interesting game. I think it's going to be a hotly contested game. We don't have sidelines, so there might be a few interesting calls. So Spirit could also be an interesting experience here. I'd rather not comment for the game. Yo, look at these cones, bro. Brayton, these cones are properly skewed, my guy. No, from the sideline. That's the new game. Okay, I'm gonna just put these snackies here.
And that's a pull. Marty's pulling through to Gradient, lands in the end zone. To Murphy on the disc pass to Vian. Cameron passing up to World War II Nick. Up to DC. Lots of love and support. DC finds John Cox in the end zone. Late to open the game. 1-0 to Gradient. On the Gradient line, Vian, James, David, Hanu, Adam, John, and a gentleman with a beautiful moustache whose name I do not know. Ben.
Did you get that on video?
I did get that on video. Ball just in line with the brick mark. Peter picks up. We're looking Peter to Cam, but Peter goes Peter to Hale instead. Michael Hale fakes off Luke. Get through to Peter. Peter hammers it through. Cameron finding an easy pass to Luke Anderson, and it goes 1-1. Kisses from Dylan, club captain. On Marty's line, we have Ollie, Michael Hale, Luke Henderson, Brayton, Cal. Is that Philip Venter, and Peter Rayan. Okay. 2 new gentlemen on the line. With, not as experienced of a line as Marty's would normally want. Lots of new players in their first 18 months, but Brayton's probably going to be at the back there directing traffic. Michael Hale pulling to the Gradient line of Ben, Adam, World War II Nick, James, DC, Paul, and Tim Murphy. Tim passes to Nick. Nick fakes off Paul. Nick stroking deep. Ollie putting on a strong force. Finds DC. DC to Paul. Paul to DC. DC to Tim. Tim to Paul. Paul looking deep. Paul goes deep. Oh, DC just does not get there. Just going out about half a meter in front of the sideline. Or the cone for the sideline.
Let's go, Adam. Nah, but DC's just better.
Ollie, you not mark. Go that side of the back. Wait, what?
Ollie, approach. Go that side. Someone go break side. I'm sorry, break side. Go break side.
Brayton to Cal, bit of a dodgy hammer. Cal looks deep to find. Oh, and World War II Nick brings the disc down. Quick pick up to James. Granelli's got options. Pulls to Tim. Pass off to Adam.
Come on, guys, you're too far apart.
Adam through to DC. DC pop tosses it back to Adam. Adam to Tim. Tim to Ben. Great continuation. Ben to James, just not in. James to Paul, not in. Paul, oh, unfortunately fumbles in the end zone. James will be disappointed with himself about that. Brayton looking for the big put. Looks off Ollie, throws to Cal. Looking for the swing. Passes to Luke. Luke to Michael. Michael looking. Michael sends it to Ollie. Is Ollie in the end zone? No. But Marty's a bit of a dodgy point, but converts nonetheless. Gabriel, do you want to sign language your phone number while you're at it?
I don't know sign language.
Do you want to like
I think the sign language for your number.
0?
9.
No, you can give the 9. Wow. When you're in trouble. For Gabriel 911. Marty's line consisting of Jono, Brayton, Cam, Philip, Peter, Carl, and Christian Kutzer. Big pull by Brayton. Comes back in nicely. Collected by World War II Nick to Vian. Vian finds Nick. Nick looking for options. Brayton forcing line. Finds DC. DC looking for options. Finds Davey. Davey to DC. DC to Davey. Davey to John. John looking for Davey up the line. Cam swings around. World War II. Nick to DC. DC looking for Bernard. The cameraman also preferring Bernard, given the Fantasy League points. DC could have passed it to Bernard there, but they didn't. Back to World War II. Nick. To John. To DC, who unfortunately cannot collect, and Marty's have the opportunity at a break here. I stand corrected, apologies. Oh, full collects after a bit of a dodgy.
Look for a reset, look for a reset, look for time. Look for reset, look for
Brayton collects. Couple deep options. Brayton choosing to play a bit more of a conservative option of Peter. All three of Marty's deep options. Finds Peter and finds Phil instead. On Marty's line, Michael, Hale, Dylan, Brayton, Ollie, Luke, Excel, and Philip. Gradient has Hanu, Tim, Paul, John, James, Ben, and Captain Pada, Tian. Tian, Marty's alum, old captain of Mountain Leopards, the Marty's mixed second team, which many of the players behind me were a part of for a while. Paul finds James on the sideline. Excel pushing a strong line force. Hanu collects. Hanu looking for options. But excellent, shutting James down. Oh, excellent. Well done. Line force put on. Recommend. I'd like to reiterate, for commentary purposes, that these two men shared a bed once in Pinetown. I think I recall Brayton was the big spoon. Brayton with a dodgy hammer to Dylan. Dylan collects. Dylan to Ollie. Ollie looking for Dylan. Dylan to Ollie. Small balling it. Ollie with a really composed decision-making process. Michael almost forcing something that wasn't there, but they swing well to Luke, to Ollie. Ollie finds Brayton, but a travel call on Ollie. Just coming back to Ollie. Coming in on 0. To Brayton.
Hammer over that side. On his post.
Brayton to Dylan. Come in, back onto this. You're out, Dylan. Oh, Luke. gathers the fingertips of Captain Paration. Coming in.
Reason why they didn't make the puck.
This comes down. Tim to Paul. Paul to, looks off Adam. Paul looking for a deep option. Jono putting a strong force on. Wrapping.
He was literally like that. It looked like a shot impregnated.
Thank you, Paul. You can get a bit closer. You don't have to give him so much space.
Yeah, but he's a new player, so if he hears he's too close, he's going to take too much.
John has this now after DC's pass. John looking for Adam. Adam breaks nicely. Okay. Swings to Tim. Tim looking for Bernard perhaps. Okay, finds World War II Nick. Nick puts off Brayton. Peter lays out. Oh, and Bernard cannot, unfortunately, get a lot of good ultimate happening right there.
Let's go, Nick. Let's go, Nick. Nice, Brayton.
Cam to Brayton. Brayton looks deep. Sorry, should not have laughed at that. Paul Vick on disc. Breaks Michael Hale. Looks for options. Michael gets a hand to it. Goes to Tim. Tim to Nick. Nick's asking for options. Nick doesn't have options. Nick looking for DC. Nick instead, unfortunately, too much pressure from Brayton. An uncharacteristic error. Brayton on disc. Brayton looks off Luke. Looking for Cam for the reset. Cam looks deep, straight to Paul. Straight to Paul. Ball round to Bernard. Oh, was that in? We do not. A call is in. Ball to Nick. Oh, Luke Henderson gets it. Injury called. Stop. John Cox coming off the field. Okay, Luke and Tim, you guys were like a lot back. Like a lot more. Like by that scuff mark over there. A little bit more that way. Yeah, that's fine.
John.
This coming in. Brayton to Peter. Peter looks for Brayton. Brayton is going to look for Luke. And it's Brayton to Luke. Takes the score. Diskin coming back around. Hanu collects. Dylan.
Yes, close.
Putting on a strong hold to DC. DC looks off Hanu. Finds James in the middle.
Let's go, Dylan.
Oh, and a massive D by Philip. Brayton picks up, looks early, doesn't find anything unfortunately. Oh, good swing through to Dylan. Dylan looking for Ollie. And Marty's have moved the distance. Travel call on Dylan by Hanu. For those of you participating, that is a buffalo. Thank you for the audience back at home. Marty's.
Look, the evidence will show whether that was a
Ollie to Luke Henderson. Luke Henderson looking to swing to Brayton, but Ben is shutting Brayton down nicely. Brayton unfortunately can't bring that down. Maybe slightly intimidated by Vian. Puts a deep put through to Tian, but it looks like Bernard. Oh, Bernard brings it down for the Fantasy League. Audience line, we have Vian, DC, Adam, Hanu, Fabio, Davey, and Ben. On the Marty's line receiving is Jono, Cam, Brayton, Carl, Philip, Peter, and Excel. Looks like Brayton to pick up. Lovely floaty pool coming just in front of the end zone. Cam to Peter. Peter looks deep. DC shuts him down. High release Cam unfortunately does not read that.
Let's use it. Let's use it.
Vian picks up. Oh, unfortunately, Vian does not find Adam. Stefan fetches the disc. Clear the line.
No line, no line, no line, no line, no line. No line, no line, no line. No line, no line, no line, no line.
Cam finds excellent finds Cal. Brayton looking. Brayton finds Jono. Jono looking for options.
Behind you, behind you, behind you.
Oh, Davey just unfortunately just doesn't get it. Brayton looking for Cal. Brayton finding Cam instead. Cam will probably find Peter, and Peter will most likely look to find someone on the sideline. Everyone shuts it down. Excellent gets there. Excellent to Brayton. And Brayton to fall for the score. Marty's go up 6-2. Brayton pulling through. Bit of a rolling throw. Goes out. Oh, doesn't go out. Picks up by Vian. Vian to Paul. Paul to Tim. Tim to, I imagine, Bernard. No. Marty set up fast enough. Okay. Bernard getting a nice easy disc. Michael putting a strong force on him.
Go ahead.
Can we pause the game because you're very out? Okay. This videographer does not know what's going on. Paul does know where the sideline is, thankfully. Ball to Vian. Vian looking to squish a pass in. Marty's doing some good defense, but I think it's an easy nick to Tim in the end. In, Vian pulls to Marty's. Cam collects. Cam to Brayton. Brayton looking deep. Sides against it once again. Oh, Peter collects, keeps it up. Peter looking for options. Brayton breaks off Tian. Peter doing very well. 1-2 of Peter up the line.
Who's march? Yes.
Brayton. Brayton to Cam. Cam looking for options. Jono unfortunately plugging the back line. Luke cuts in to Brayton. Brayton needs to look early for that swing. Finds Cam. Davey putting on a strong force. To Brayton. Brayton with the hammer to Luke Henderson. Luke Henderson to Cam. Still not in. Cam with a lofty one to Luke, who can't bring it down. This commentator's going back on his stand. Okay, small cones have been added to mitigate the risk of players playing outside the field. Vian on disc, in the handler space with him, Hanu, Adam and Davey. John Cox making the first cut. Vian choosing to swing. They are in Callahan country, but they've moved nicely out of the box. Hanu unfortunately putting a disc way too far in front of Davey. Great effort by the ex-Marty. Must be said there are two ex-Martys on the line for what you call it currently. Ooh, Tian completely putting Cam into a different time zone with that bump. Vian on disc, Brayton marking. Vian looking for options. Anu breaks up the line. Brayton with a strong mark to John. John with a nice floaty one to Ben. Ooh, Cal gets hands on it, but almost enables the timeout call by Marty's. We'll be right back after this ad break. And we're back. Peter on the disc. Marty's taking a bit of a very femininely kind of Pilates kind of setup to this game. Pilates for Marty's is Pilates. Cam and Peter just getting a quick stretch in while the setup is happening. I'm pretty sure this constitutes time wasting though. So Marty's oh, great into setting up the defense. My apologies. Marty's deciding it's time to play. That timeout going on for quite some time. Ben taps the disc in. Peter on disc. Looking for Cam. Finds Cam. Cam has Carl as an option. Jono cut through. Jono chooses against it. Oh, Jono, beautiful to Brayton. Brayton gathered on his knees. Brayton, ooh, looks off Cam. Finds Cal instead. Cal looking for options. Oh, Ben with a massive D. Brayton says it's clean and the turnover to Gradient. Vian to pick up. Dylan shuts down the upline pass. Davey comes back. 1-2 with Vian. Looking for upline. Vian with a put that unfortunately is brought down sooner than what he wanted due to the wind. Brayton on disc. Adam putting a straight up mark down. Brayton decides he's going to go. John getting in between Luke and Brayton on the disc. Both teams looking a little bit sluggish. It's been a difficult morning for them both, coming out of a game prior to this. So slow resets, but necessarily slow resets. Tight game for 5th place here today. Vian on disc. Carl defending. Adam cuts. Davey receives the disc close to the end zone from Vian. Peter putting on a very strong mark. It's a Carl Hanu. Hanu calls foul. For those of you participating at home, that is a buffalo. Cam and Hanu discussing the call. Perspective is being asked for. No one's able to give a conclusive call. Peter involved in the conversation now. Sideline's a bit confused. Tom, just let them know to. Tom, it's been a minute. Just tell your team, please. Come, Tom. Okay, contested. Foul contested, back to thrower. David on the disc, and after about 2 minutes we resume the game. Sluggish game. Fortunately Vian's pass to Adam, bit wayward. Adam didn't really have much opportunity to cleanly grab that unless he put some hard yards in, but the Marty's player being in the better space. Jono to Peter in the end zone. That was beautiful, however, injury as a result. And we're back. Marty's line. Oliver, Luke, Philip, Excel, Christian, Peter, and Brayton. On the gradient line, you've got Tim, Paul, James, DC, John, World War II, Nick, and Vian. 7-3 currently, so this could be the point that takes us to half time. We'll have to see. Brayton putting up a lovely put onto the end zone line. Vian collects to Paul. Paul on the disc. Excel putting a force on Paul. Excel forcing line. Paul decides to go deep. It's a battle between DC and Brayton. Unfortunately, Brayton is just too short and DC takes an easy point. Paul. That's a very good point. To Brayton. Brayton to Peter. Peter to Brayton. Brayton finds Ollie. Ollie's looking for Peter up the line. Finds Peter. Peter looking for a big hit, but doesn't get anything. Ollie. Oh. Peter finds Luke. James Granelli putting a nice line force on. Finds Ollie. Ollie just outside the end zone. Should not be looking to force something that isn't there, but finds Peter Conradi. And that is half time. 8-4 to Marty's. And we're back. Vian of the pool. Second half to begin. Someone is touching my back. Please don't touch my back. Peter Conradi on the disc has Brayton and Cam as drop options. Oh, Luke Henderson with a rare fumble.
Fill up your heart.
Luke Henderson putting on a strong force against Vian. Vian finding John Cox. John looking for Hanu. Oh, Hanu recovers well. Here's an option. Looks off Ben. Oh, and Hanu to James to take it 8-5. 20s. So they've got a World campaign. Goes out. Cameron Guard decides to brick. I have an excessive amount of people on the sideline in my way.
It's our sideline.
Yeah, I see you've taken everything. It's like you're not playing anymore. You trust the boys, you know. It's like you needed to calm them down in the past, but now you trust them, you know. They got this.
Bernard, you say that until you guys got up like 13-12. Watch him cleat up.
But I mean, I told myself today I'm playing one game, and the game I played, I messed up.
Come to Peter. Peter looking for a deep option. Goes for Philip. Philip in the end zone. Hanu looks like he might have pulled something at the back there. Or is he okay? We don't know. But Philip scores. Brayton with the pull. Marty's line. Christian, Carl, Michael, Luke, Peter, Brayton, Excel. Up against Vian, Bernard, Paul, World War II Nick, DC, John, and Tim. World War II Nick to Tim. Not Tim. Wrong team. To DC. DC looking for options. Excel shutting down Paul nicely. John picks up. A little bit of a poach. Peter trying to make up for it now. DC on the disc. Brayton barking to World War II Nick. Nick swings to John. Oh, John to Vian. Christian putting up a strong attempt. DC on the disc. DC to Nick. Nick looking for DC, doesn't find him. Finds Bernard, but Michael Hale can't do anything about it.
Come on, Gradient!
Gradient go 9-5, I believe. I might stand corrected. Scorekeeper. Score 9-5? 9-6. 9-6, thank you. Gradient of the disc to pull to Marty's. Vian pulling with Davy, John, James, DC, Tian, and Ben. Marty's with Cam, Dylan, Ollie, Philip, Jono, Brayton, and Cal.
What's the pause? He doesn't understand what it is.
Disc up. Dylan avoiding the disc, almost hitting him. Brayton to Cal.
Go to.
Cal, wonderful take.
No rush.
Conservation of greatness. Brayton keeps it in. Brayton with a big put. It's Rowley though. Cam leaves it. They'll take the territory. Michael, please just do a bit of a wind test for me. Just pick up some grass. Put your hand out over there. Okay, drop the grass. Okay, wind's coming from that direction. Thank you.
Going in this way.
Yeah, I've got a southeasterly throw blowing. This is very useful for the bad weather we've had. Cape doctors at work. James doing a lot of work off the disc. Brayton finally finding his mark. Forcing line. Brayton holding nicely. Vian finding John. John finding Ben. Ben on the disc. Ben with a sensible throw to DC. Ben to DC. 1-2 to James. James to DC. Oh, and Brayton gets a big D. Everyone almost inundated of all. Taking too long. To Dylan. Ooh, DC putting in a big bid for Cam. Cam, everyone's putting it. Oh, the intensity of this game is exciting. Dylan to Ollie. Ollie must now not force us. To Cam with one hand, and Cam to Brayton. If I'm not mistaken, I heard a store count of 9 there. Marty's lucky to have salvaged that. Southeast is picking up a bit now. Marty's with the disc putting to gradient. Marty's fortunately getting to play somewhat of a downwind point now as the wind starts to pick up, getting a bit more gusty. Peter of the pool, big pool, but might be going out. We've already bricked it, southeasterly, making things a little bit more trickier. Okay, Paul Vicker of the disc, setting up from the brick mark. Brayton taking his time to find his mark. Excel putting on a very hard force. Straight down the middle to Bernard. Bernard to Tim. Tim finds Adam. Adam to Tim. Tim to James. James to Tim. James unfortunately puts a bit of a wayward pass in front of Tim. I don't think the best of athletes would have laid for that. Brayton with a massive hit. Okay. Unfortunately, Marty's unable to get in front of it, but they'll take the territory gain with that huck.
Tim back. Tim back. Beat. Jimbo, clear that space. Clear him out. Go, Tim. Tim, get out of there. No.
So putting on a strong force, but Paul calling contact. Okay, Excel needing to use the right hand signals there.
Drag. Clear him out.
Okay, Paul being very, very decent of Excel there. Patience appreciated of the new players. Paul to Bernard. Excel shutting down Paul very well. Ooh, Bernard squeezing it through. Ollie eventually putting the disc down. I think Peter might be looking for a quick hit down deep for a little bit more. Brayton picks up. Brayton finds Luke. Luke looking deep. Might find that passing to Brayton, and swinging the disc is the best decision to make in this case. Unfortunately, Luke puts it into the ground over there. Apologies for not swinging the camera quickly enough. Paul Vicker of the disc, looking for a big pick. Excel only allowing that flick. Vian puts the disc, unfortunately too far to the left of his Gradient teammates. Brayton picks up quickly. Quick pass to Peter. Ooh. Brayton with a wonderful catch by Luke after retrieving Brayton's rubbish. There will be fines for that. Brayton with a wonderful 1-2, breaking the ankles of his defender. Brayton to Excel. Excel looking for his options. Puts a bit of a wayward one. Unfortunately, Martys can't bring it down. Very good vibes here at the Martys Gradient game. Martys currently, if I understand correctly, 10-6 up. But Gradient looking to change that with a wonderful opportunity upfield. They've also got the numbers advantage, or thought they had. James and Fabio. Fabio going to be looking for James now. Will James be able to bring that one down? He does in the end zone, and Gradient go up to 7. Marty still lead 10-7. We're back here at Scoville for the Gradient Martys 5th place playoff at this year's OWN26. Gradient having just gone up to 7 to Marty's 10 before Marty's calling a timeout. On Gradient line, Vian looks like he'll be doing the pull with John, Tian, Anu, DC, David and Ben. Marty's receiving Philip, Peter, Cam, Luke, Dylan, Brayton and John. A bit of an S-line. Just up. Collected by Cam in the end zone. Great pull to Brayton. 1-2 action of Brayton and Cam. Anu putting on a strong force. Pops it to Luke. Luke looking for the flick. Luke decides to take the flick. Everyone will be looking to Philip here. Oh. Philip unfortunately just not getting there. Tian as well. Looking for the swat, not getting it. DC eventually saving Gradient's face. And the sun comes out. It's Vian to Ben. Ben looking deep. Ben to Hanu. Hanu. It's coming back.
Don't touch it.
From the scoff.
Don't touch it.
I know. Me.
Almost died.
Ask the Gradient players their thoughts on that decision. Paul, did you think he believed it was coming back?
I think the decision was good. A little bit of a lack of execution, maybe a little bit tired from Honey there.
Okay.
Understandable.
I'm forgetting that the wind is now right behind him.
Indeed, and our 7th game of the weekend.
Exactly.
It's bound to be, slippery when wet.
What I'm hearing is if you had an extra 10 players on the bench, better decisions. Brayton with a pop pass to Peter. Peter 1-2 of Brayton. Peter recovering. Peter getting into clear. Oh, Brayton unfortunately cannot gather. John goes deep. Peter chasing. Hanu looking for the big one. Instead decides to go to DC. DC pops to Vian. Vian looking for options. Vian finding John. If Jono can do anything about it, unfortunately not. Peter and Tian collects. Is Tian in? Tian is given in. Gradient go. 8 to Marty's 10. Game on. Of the pool.
Yes, Vian.
Lots of good energy from Gradient, having come back from 6-2 down to now only being 10-8 down to Marty's. Cam, Brayton will be looking to change that.
Yes, James. Yes, Tian. Yes, Tian.
Brayton to Cam. Wind picking up again, that southeaster pushing. Michael Hale brings that disc back. after the fingertips of, ooh, unfortunately a bit wayward, Luke unable to gather that disc. A slow, peaceful walk by the gradient players to pick up the disc.
Up, Cal! It's Cam!
Cam Skies, James,
Get there, John! Get there, John! Someone's coach!
Vian collects a wayward throw from Brayton.
No, no!
John Cox puts one deep. Can Luke Henderson get there? No, he can't. Bernard. And Gradient go to 9. Game on. Vian of the pool. Big pool, lovely pool. Wind carrying that disc into the end zone. Peter giving a bit of a floater. Brayton collects. Foul called, uncontested. Disc goes back into the field instead of the sideline. Coming in on 0. Brayton finding Carl. Violation call, violation call. Just catch it. Okay, perfect.
Well, he didn't mark. I was like, is this guy?
Carl, are you calling injury?
No, does this guy have some I think he just put his head on his hand like this.
Guys, can we move the chat away from the camera? I don't mind it, but like...
Well, it's retracted.
Yeah, but Ben tapped it in, so we can't.
They made the check. Yeah, we did make the check. Yeah.
Hey, we figured it out.
But then does that play stand? No, the yeah.
I guess he's saying he would put the mark on, so.
Oh, I see. Okay. That's fair enough. So as far as I'm going to come back.
As your commentator, I'm calling time.
Putting the mark on here.
Surely not, because
Okay. So are you just restarting there? Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm kind of annoyed with that. Ready?
Okay.
Oli, come on.
Whoa. Brayton on the disc. Lots of energy. Electric. This game has woken up. Davey intersects. It's all out called. And that electric energy again dampens with the music while we have another call.
So rule-wise, because there was a turnover anyway, it just doesn't matter that that is
Okay, all out called, retracted because the disc had been thrown to the opposition player.
So go back to because that was people had stopped by that time. So just go when you were like when the turnover.
Sideline, the music can come back, thanks. Marty started playing the Saltate Lenta and the Marty's opposition player caught the disc, which is quite ironic.
The 10-9 effect, that is true.
The 10-9 effect.
Cal, go!
This game has come alive.
Let's work.
Ben looks deep. Ben looks deep to Hanu.
Reading school. Yeah! Let's play music.
Okay, has there been a call made? No call made by Hanu. Brayton to Philip. Philip to Cal. Cal looks deep.
To Ollie. To tall man.
Oh, I think Adam got a hand to that.
Okay, boys. Where's our beam?
Adam the octopus.
Get up.
Gradient looks deep. Philip Hasso. David Pereira. This commentator forgetting to commentate while observing an extremely tight game. James to Vian. Vian to Hanu. Hanu to DC. DC to Hanu. Hanu Calls contact, uncontested by Brayton. For those of you participating at home, that's a buffalo.
What?
Tell you afterwards. Hanu to DC. Carl shuts down the DC pass. Oh, DC still gets it to Hanu. Hanu finds DC again. DC to James. James to DC. Electric. The energy. Sideline involved. Everyone involved. Phillips can't get in front of David. David swings to Hanu. Hanu looking for options. Stalk on 9. Big court.
Stand. No, it did affect me.
What's the maximum score count of pick and come in on? It's 6, no?
That is not something I know off the top of my head. Asanda, talk to Asanda about that. Okay.
Okay. That's what I thought.
I thought it was 8, but if you say 6, I don't want to argue with you.
Because Curry, it was an offensive foul.
Okay.
Curry. Oh,
there we go.
Okay, so it was 6.
So it is 6.
Wait, but
no, it wasn't an offensive foul. It was a pick. So the maximum stall count on a pick.
okay.
Curry stopped running because it was a pick.
But I thought Curry called the foul first.
Okay, they've deliberated their
Curry
back.
called the foul to defensive foul and then it's still 6.
Okay.
DC to Hanu, and it's 10-10. Ooh, saucy, spicy. But will Asanda cleat up? That is the question. This game has woken up. Not that it wasn't always awake, but now we have a lot of invested parties and individuals involved. Vian, Bernard, Hanu, James, DC, Tian, and Tim will take on the Marty line that consists of Cam, Jono, Dylan, Luke, Peter, Excel, and Brayton. 10 all. A game of small margins now. Brayton looking off 2 players. Eventually finding Dylan. Dylan looking for his options. Dylan, oh, unfortunately putting over Excellent's head. DC, Vian, James, Tim. Tim to Hanu. Hanu's looking for Bernard. Bernard v. Oh! Luke gets fingertips, brings it down. Marty's retained possession. Peter might be looking for a quick. Peter, big fake of DC. DC getting fingertips, but it's enough to be put down by Bernard over here. Marty is arguably resorting to Res League tactics. Hucking and hoping. Let's see if it hooks against the experienced gradient contingent. Vian gets it around to Hanu. While the sun comes out and the wind dies. Heavy legs in the last game of the tournament. Bernard picks up DC. Looking fresh. Brings it around to Hanu. Hanu to Cam. Cam to Brayton. Brayton looking for his options. Brayton with a hammer to excel. Unfortunately cannot bring it down. Vian brings it.
Watch the feet. Watch the feet. On the hammers, you gotta watch.
Alright guys, jumping.
Sorry?
Are we jumping while we hammer?
Brayden jumped while he hammered.
He does that often. Just call him.
No, he has to be called. It's not on him, it's on our guys.
There. Timeout called by Gradient. So as he hammers, he jumps. And you have to have one point of contact with the field at all time.
Water!
There you go. Touch.
Why is he looking well?
Why is he talking?
Oh, it's small like shit.
Don't worry, I got DP. I can give you my water bottle. It's okay, Ella, I'll take your DP. Do you wanna
How far are we from time?
right here. Mary, close your eyes, you're a child. I'm your now. Whoa. Oh, hey, how the other half lives. How does it feel being short? Oh, that's actually that's actually Wait, what happened? Take a photo. Price guys.
If you jump on this and
Come
fall.
on. What is your height?
Just. Let's go, Montes!
Come on, you got this!
No, hey, first to 5, as Brayton says.
That's actually crazy. That's me.
For free! My shortness has been exposed.
It's up another 6 a.m. Wait.
Hello? That's, yeah. Thank you.
That's actually hilarious.
And we're back after the timeout with only 17 minutes left of play. 10-10. Contact court, uncontested. Excel and Vian having a nice chit chatter there. Coming in on 3. Gradient players being very patient with Excel at his first tournament. Great to see. My apologies, his second tournament. He did play at regionals last year. Through to James. Camera on James Granelli. James Bernard. They're trying to shut down Bernard. To Vian. To Tim. To Vian. To Hanu. Hanu to Vian. Vian deep. To Tim. Tim to James. James to DC. And Gradient go up. And we're back. With 15 minutes on the clock, Gradient go up for the first time in this game. 11-10. Is experience starting to show youth that it is a better asset at the end of a tournament? Let us see. Vian of the pool again. Beautiful floaty pass into the end zone. Brayton picks up 2 Gradient players on him, looking for options. Peter gathers a dodgy throw from Brayton to Michael Hale. Michael Hale looking for options. Hanu hard marking him, finds Cal. Marties do want to be careful, they are in Kalang. Michael Hale putting in a windward one. But the disc goes.
The Hawks of Hale Hammerhand sound in the deep. One last time.
Set up, we've got time. Yeah, baby. Set up, Gradient.
Marties have a bit of a territory pass. Whether they can capitalize on the disc in the opposition end zone, time will tell. But the laughed on the side of the field by the Marties contingent shows good signs and good spirit. Vian disc, Cull defending. To Hanu. Hanu looks deep. Hale stops it. Hale gets back in there. To Ben. Finds Ben. Ben finds Bernard to go 12-10 up. Marty's many questions to be asked.
Bring it back, Magents, bring it back!
2 of the pool.
Let's go,
To Cal.
Walk on.
Cam to Peter. Peter and Cam. Peter to Luke. Luke for the big puck, finds Cal instead. Cal looks for Peter, but finds Peter afterwards. Finds Ollie. Ollie looks for Excel. Ollie looking for options. To Cal. Excel takes it. Wow. Barties. Massive energy on the sideline as they bring it back to go 11 against Gradient's 12. We have a massive game on our hands here. So it's +1 on the current score after the 100 minutes is over, correct?
Let's go. Come on, Brayton. No, hold that.
Hold Brayton, yes. Don't stay there, don't
Right, Brayton. Right, Brayton.
stay there.
Electric. But Marty is unable to hold. Gradient got up 13. Peter and Brayton with a little bit of 1-2 action. A couple Martys looking deep under. Ooh, Adam with probably the most impactful D of this game so far.
On your man.
Home, Ollie, home.
Heads up.
Peter. Oh, Cal putting it down. Not yet, Ollie, not yet.
I know. He's got.
Cal picks up to Ollie. Ollie finds Luke. Luke, will he find Ollie? No, he doesn't. Finds Cal. Cal looks, finds Michael Hale. Is it 13-12? It is 13-12 with 6 minutes on the clock. Renier, how many minutes on the clock?
6 minutes.
6 minutes on the clock. DC twerking for the camera as Olivia Dean plays in the background. Yes. Sorry, Martys! Whew. The intensity palpable, as is the coldness. But the vibes on the sideline are immaculate. Marty's on the pool. 13-12 to Gradient. Brayton of the pool puts up a big put into the wind. Comes down. Tim Murphy picks up. Tim to Paul. Paul looking for options. Paul goes deep. Oh, Excel boxing out Bernard, one would say. Others would say Bernard just never read on this. Brayton picks up, brings to the top of the end zone. Brayton looking for options. Find Cam's eventually. Cam looking for his options. Oh, unfortunately, Luke cannot bring it down. Comes down on the sun. Paul Vickers picks up.
Come on, Cal, don't let him get it.
Violation called. Equipment. Can you call a sub for equipment? For those of you looking.
Is it fine? Can we start? Because it's not an injury. Are you guys happy for a start?
I can stay on.
Thank you, Gradient.
Otherwise, I can give him one like these.
Super self.
After a just in, Luke Henderson on Paul. Paul looking deep. Paul looking at Bernard. Bernard being shut down by Excel. Paul to Paul looking. Paul definitely looking deep. Luke putting on massive effort. Unfortunately unable. Ooh, controversial moment there. Momentum potentially broken for the flow of gradient. Sideline, please clear the sideline. For the camera mainly, thank you. A reminder that the scores are 13-12 to gradient. Brayton on James. James looking for options. James looks off to Paul. Cannot find James. Cam shuts down DC. Not in. James. Great grab. Not in. Paul on disc again. Brayton passing. Brayton making life difficult. DC on disc. DC finds James. James unfortunately puts it down. No one has the legs. Brayton on disc. This is Marty's moment. If they can small ball it up the field, they will go. Brayton decides to put it deep to Cameron Guard. And at 13-all.
Small ball right there.
Small ball by Marty's. The Marty's version of small ball working. 13-all. Renier, is that time cap yet? 1 minute of time. Okay. Again, Brayton of the pool. The southeasterly, massive, in the back of the end zone. Callahan country. You've already gone past. Check there. Hanu picks up.
Finish this point.
Nick looking for options. Nick not getting many options. Being shut down very nicely. Peter unable to shut that down to James. James looking. Peter overbids to Hanu.
Curry!
Hanu puts a massive floater which Ben brings down and it's given in. Gradient got up 14. Ooh. Tian lying on the ground, it's given in. It's 14-13. Welcome. Cam to Brayton. Brayton looking for Cam. Decides to look Cam off. Peter breaks DC. Finds Peter. Peter looking for options. Finds Cam. Cam looking for Brayton. A bit of a floater. Fine. Brought down. To Cam. To Brayton. To Cam. Ooh. Tian jumps. What did we just see? To Hanu. Hanu looks off, James. Gradient of the wind in their back. Must be feeling confident right now. Oh, Hanu just puts it wide of James. Marty's to Cam. Cam to Luke. Luke to Cam. Cam to Oliver. Is Ollie in? No? Ollie to Cal. Ollie to Cal. Cal to Peter. To Luke. And we go to universe points for 5th place. I will try keep my Marty's bias in check for this last point. As Marty's has the S line on. Ollie, Cal, Cam, Luke, Philip, Peter and Brayton against the likes of Vian, Bernard, Paul, DC, James, Nick and Adam. Brayton with a lovely disc to come back in. Nice bounce. So yes, this is going to be interesting for James. James to Nick. Nick to Adam. Adam keeps it up. Adam to James. James to DC. DC puts it deep. It's Luke v Bernard. Bernard takes. Take it back to thrower.
At the same time, then gets it.
Hmm? If it's at the same time, O gets it.
Yeah, then offense gets it, yeah.
What a way to end a game. Both players catching at the same time.
Yeah.
We get a video review on that shit.
Unfortunately, I can't watch videos of this. The only downside of this.
Yeah.
Tom, if I had a magic wand, I'd fix your knee right now. My wish. So you can play that point.
If I had a magic wand, we'd be one more breakout.
No universe points.
Fuck my knee.
But as Louise says, it's O gets it if they caught it at the same time. So
Do you think they caught at the same time?
it looks like from here it looks like.
Yeah.
And
I feel like.
and that's game.
Yeah, I think good. I think it's good.
Oh, great way to finish it. Great look for ultimate. Cam and DC embracing each other there. Difficult call on universe, but great to see.
Next or open?
What a game.
Well done, guys. Well done, guys. Well done, James. Great hustle.
The boys really like they did you proud.
Well done, Adam. Well done, Nick. Well done, John. Like a Peter. Well done for Saka Ollie. Good hustle. Well done, Bryson. Well done. Great game. Great. Well done. Good call at the end there. Well done. Well done, DC. Well done. Lekker Captain Butter. Lekker bit.
Thank you, cameraman.
Thank you. Well done, Cam. Great game. Yes, coach. Well done, Fabio. Cool. Good, everyone. Coach, you left him hanging.
Oh, sorry.